I want to share something today. It's a little bit niche, it's a little bit random, but maybe you'll find it interesting because it's about YouTube. When I first started, I learned a piece of advice from a guy named Trent Dreisman. I thought it was one of the dumbest things I'd ever heard, but since then, it's helped me become a full-time YouTuber. And looking back, I can see how powerful it really was. But here it is. To succeed as a YouTuber, you need to be a YouTuber. Thank you, Captain Obvious, I hear you say. Next, let's go. I didn't really get it either, but now looking back, it makes a lot of sense. So I want to kind of go over this and unpack it with you guys using an analogy Trent calls the green dot theory. So let's imagine you want to go out there and start a YouTube channel. First thing you need to do is figure out what kind of content you need to create. And so you're going to come up with your idea. Maybe it's going to be gaming, or maybe it's going to be makeup, or whatever it is. For the sake of this analogy, let's say it's green dots. You want to go out there and make green dot videos. And so you get out there, you're excited, you're pumped, you film and you edit and you record and you upload and you post, and you bomb worse than KSI's latest song. Massive failure. Which is kind of sad, right? And this is where a lot of people end up quitting. But some people don't quit. They persist with their green dot content, and as a result, as a byproduct of persisting with green dot content, they uncover that there's like this new kind of like red dot opportunity out there. So they pivot their channel, they start making red dot videos, and results pick up a little bit. Now what's interesting here is back here when you were in the planning phase, you were deciding what type of content you wanted to create, you didn't even know red dots existed. But anyway, back to the analogy. We continue on posting red dot videos, and results are getting a little bit better, but not as good as we want them to be. Until one day we find a new opportunity, blue dot videos. So you pivot your channel again, you start making blue dot videos, and results pick up even more. Then not long later, you find a new opportunity, yellow dots, and you keep on going. Now, back to the beginning, when you first started creating green dot content, you were setting out to be the best green dot creator there ever was. You didn't know yellow dots or blue dots or red dots even existed. And the process sort of continues from there, but you're probably getting the point now. Basically, if you're trying to learn or think, or you're procrastinating about starting a YouTube channel, but really this is just an analogy for anyone who is trying to do something ambitious and risky. Entrepreneurship, a business, a new skill. To succeed, you first have to be. Because it's that journey itself that's going to help you uncover the opportunities that will help you get to the next level. So to give you sort of a concrete example, when I first started, I'm going to embarrass myself here, I created gaming videos. This is my first ever YouTube video. Back in 2015, I was 14 years old. And you can see a couple of things here, like the huge black bars because I didn't render it properly, the 480p footage, super blurry and gross. Audio was recorded using my Windows 7 laptop internal microphone. You can imagine how great that was. And for some reason, even though this sucked, I kept on posting videos. I actually posted 65 different videos over the course of 12 months to get a whopping, wait for this, 150 subscribers. Thank you. And so that kind of sucked. But then one day I was doing some research. I was looking for someone to collaborate with, which is sort of a thing you do where you team up with another YouTuber and you create content together to cross-promote. And I found this guy, Two Moose for You. And he created Star Wars Battlefront content, specifically funny moments type videos. Seems kind of weird and specific, but when I first clicked on his video, I got hooked. I thought it was hilarious. I watched the entire thing, and then I ended up binging his entire channel when I should have been working. And while I was binging Moose's content, this thought started to bubble itself into my consciousness. Maybe I could do something like this. And so I did. The next week I went out there and I made Thug Life, Star Wars Battlefront Funtage Funny Moments Montage. It was kind of cringy, but for some reason it clicked. It got 2,000 views, and from there, things started to pick up. That was one of the best results I'd ever gotten on YouTube, so I kept posting those videos. I pivoted, and over the course of 6 weeks of posting these videos, my channel went from getting 15 subscribers per month to over 1,500 subscribers every single month. In other words, I found my red dot. And so I pivoted. I went all in on this red dot, and I kept on posting this content, and then I started getting views and people reaching out to me. And one day this guy reached out to me and he was like, hey, can I edit videos for you? I was like, I guess, sure. And that was when I learned the power of growing a team. I was like, wow, I can put out so much more content with someone helping me. So I grew a team. We ended up scaling up that channel because of that. And now the channel has around like 25 million views. The next step from there, this process took like a couple of years. And throughout that process, I kind of fell in love with YouTube. And so I decided I'm going to start a YouTube education channel, like a YouTube channel where I talk about YouTube and like how I grew my other channels. For some reason, it clicked. And people started reaching out to me as a result of that channel, being like, "Hey, like, can I pay you to help me grow my channel?" And I was like, "Sure, I guess, why not?" And now I'm in a place where I recently started a software company called Valio. It basically helps YouTubers generate viral video ideas. And to give you a rough idea of kind of where we're at, on a conversation I had with Murray, who's Director of Entrepreneurship at UTS, one of the most respected people in the startup space, he called it, quote, "one of the fastest growing 2-month-old startups he's ever seen in his life." And now, as a result of this whole journey, I have the privilege to be able to do what I love every day, have the freedom to do it from a laptop, and I can travel the world. And this probably seems like I'm bragging here, but I'm trying to share this to illustrate the power of the green dot theory. If it wasn't for my YouTube education channel, I couldn't have started Valio, my software company. If it wasn't for growing a team and learning how to grow my gaming channels, I wouldn't have had the credibility to start a YouTube education channel. If it wasn't for my Star Wars Battlefront content and getting views on that, I wouldn't have had people reach out and I would have known that growing a team was even an option. But if I hadn't have just started in the very beginning, I wouldn't have had those views and I would never have learned that like growing a team was even a thing. And so I guess if I could suggest something to you, if you're thinking about content creation or just doing anything that's kind of ambitious but a little bit risky, it would be just start. And I know it sounds cliche and I know it's what everyone says, but hopefully through this analogy, you've kind of come to terms with the fact that the journey itself is the thing that reveals the opportunities to you that will take you to where you want to be. And when you get there, hopefully you'll be in a place where you're able to live your dream life, and as a result of that, you can also hopefully go out there and impact a lot of other people too in a very positive way. So that's me. My name is Marcus. Thank you very much.
All right, Marcus.
Thank you.
That is